Hi everyone, Ken Rakowski, Sandy Grigsby. Welcome to our Metal Weekly call where we just dive into different topics that are out there. Today is all about how to own your Zoom call, how to actually make it just work for you. And we're diving into the very first thing, and that is it concealer? No, what's it called? Matting? What is it called?
Anti-shine.
Anti-shine. Because, well, one of the biggest problems is if you have healthy skin, you just tell me healthy skin means it's shiny skin, right?
It means it's glowing.
It's glowing.
If you have dull, matte, flat skin, something's not good.
Right, and what we have are different lights. I'm gonna find a way to show you what the lighting looks like in here. In a Zoom environment, you gotta make sure that, well, you don't shine like my skin is right now. So what are we doing?
All right, so I'm going to use this anti-shine and just wipe it on your face like this. Very simple. But what it does is it takes away all that shine while you're on camera, and it doesn't clog your pores and make you feel gross, and it actually lasts quite a bit.
Yeah, but remember, you want to look great all the time, and lighting could really mess things up.
Yeah. There we go.
So putting a little anti-shine on here. How much is this stuff?
I think like $7 or $8. I don't remember.
Okay, thank you. Got it all?
So I get it on his shine. Like, he doesn't get shiny from here down because of facial hair. I mean, a little maybe on the chin, but generally not. But the shiny spots are usually the forehead, the nose, the cheekbones. So all you have to do is just wipe it on, super simple. And that's it. With this product, you don't even need matting powder or anything, and it's translucent. So it works with anything.
Sandy, what's the name of this product?
This one is by Revlon. So it's Photo Ready Prime Anti-Shine. And this is what I use on guys a lot because it just, look.
No shine anymore. Really important, because I've noticed, especially since I'm using lighting, the shine comes out a lot. Now, if you're not using it, just using your camera, then it's not going to happen. But we are going to talk about lighting and how important lighting and sound is. Really, really important. So today's topic is how to own a Zoom call.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, where did you get the anti-shine?
At any CVS, Walgreens, Target, any makeup part of any kind of drugstore.
Again, it's a anti-shine for your skin, and the reason why you're going to need it is because we're going to tell you to start using lighting.
This is a product I would like to recommend. It's Sephora, and I love it.
Oh, you're using it too?
Yeah, it's called Prep and Prime from Sephora.
Oh, perfect. Exactly. Any priming thing, but this one I particularly like because it specifically makes it so you're not shiny. So some of the preps and the primers are meant for foundations to sit on top of them so they last longer.
They have a color too. Some
and some of them have a tint. I think this is great just because you don't have to worry about getting a tint to match your skin tone. And even with translucent powders and stuff, if you're sweating or you just have really oily skin, it'll permeate through that. So this kind of prevents that from happening. And also with the powders, and even if they're translucent, sometimes they might not match your skin tone, especially if you're a little bit darker. Translucent powder will look like you have kind of like a white cast to your tone.
What has to happen is before you even turn on Zoom, be very conscious that you are, again, bringing down that mat, bring that mat up so you are not glowing, because many of you are. Because I've noticed, especially in the morning, a lot of you just got out of the shower, you probably maybe put some skin cream on or whatever it is, and you sit in front of the camera and ta-da, you are a glow that's a bit unbearing. Yeah, okay, so first thing before you turn on the camera, get one of these anti-shine products and look at the Revlon as well. Okay, I did open that for you.
Thank you.
We have two types of Zoom calls, everyone. First is this type of Zoom call, from the waist up. Most of you actually do it from the, let's say, the tops of the shoulders up. And then you have full body, which we've done for the last couple of Zoom calls where you got to see our full body. I've noticed more full body Zoom calls starting to happen, especially when they're trying to show emotions. I've been seeing a lot of acting classes getting on Zoom because they can't meet people teaching how to speak properly. They're doing full body. So be very conscious to not just wear your white socks you wear around the house. So if you have jeans on, but just dress accordingly as if you were in a meeting.
You can't
okay?
speak anymore.
I can't speak right now. I was actually crying earlier.
Yeah, well,
I was somber.
we shipped your kid off.
Yeah, my son has left for Chicago, and I was sad. That's a father thing, I guess. You were happy to see him.
Oh yeah, I did a dance. Did you watch me on the camera? I was like,
No.
yeah, woohoo!
And I was deeply saddened. But
You had a great time with him, right?
it's not that I had a great time with him. This is another topic, but I saw him grow a lot. You know, there's a point in time where having that male dominant role model around when he's becoming a young man is so necessary. And he's been around women for such a long time that then you start to see that growth spurt. And I feel bad because he's going to go back to where he's in that strong female environment and he's going to be very squashed. But that's a different topic. We're going to go to Zoom. I don't want to
Men
cry.
talk.
Don't want to do that. I don't want to mess up my anti-shine. So we're working on two, guys. We're going to be working on from the mid, let's say the waist up today. That's where we're at. So lighting. You don't realize how important lighting is until you turn it off. You ready?
Yes,
I'm going to turn off the lighting, guys. Watch what happens as I start to turn off the lighting.
Oh,
Lighting
the computer's trying to compensate.
is almost fully turned off.
Yeah.
Now,
So here's what you see. Hard shadows here and here. And this is because there's a bit of natural light coming in from the windows that I'm actually facing.
Should I close those
Yeah,
two?
you close those up. And you can see now the camera is struggling with my hair against the green screen in the background. So now you can see the shadows are getting actually harsher right here. And there you go. Hi, this is actually how people do their Zoom calls in this terrible light.
It's like you're out of San Quentin prison.
Yeah.
And you can see the background's going crazy too. So
Yeah.
we're going to turn on the backlight first, which lights up.
But
and-
still, this is how it looks at a lot of people's
Yeah.
cameras. So they will have some sort of weird hallway light or a light behind them, and they'll see how the light is accenting here and here, which looks really bad. And it's giving me all these dark shadows, and I look kind of like a big blob with like a nose and a cheekbone.
I'm going to put on a direct light now. That's a front direct light.
That's better.
It's better, but it's not great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to light her left and right side. There's her left side, and here is Sandy's right side.
Oh, no.
So now we've mixed all the lighting
You
together.
can see all my anti-shine tones.
So you can see right now, everything is lit properly and it looks great. Most of you are working with just natural light. Natural light changes throughout the day.
Yes, but if you know you have an hour of consistent natural light, it can work.
Yeah, use that. I like some of the what do they call these circle lights that you see?
Oh, I hate those lights.
Why do you hate them?
They have like, it's like a ring light.
Yeah, halo.
I think they give a weird cast, and then they make the background really dark, and then your face is kind of glowy, and you get these weird eyeballs. I think they're a little weird, but you know.
Well, what should you
Case
use?
study, I'm using that halo light right now.
I think it looks good. Yeah, let's spotlight Sonny and let's see what he looks like. Doesn't look bad. It's a bit matted.
But you can see, see the
the
hard shadow
shadows.
right behind him, and then you can see how immediately you can follow the ring. You can see where immediately his pectorals fall off into shadow. And I just personally, I don't love the ring light. I know a lot of people do, but not my favorite. I think it gives a weird effect to the face too.
And
But it's better than no light.
Yeah, no. And what are you using as your camera? Because you're not using your computer.
No, it's a webcam.
It's a webcam. So another thing you have to be very conscious of, and Sunny, you're doing it, and I see this happen a lot. The computer top. Make sure you push it down so it is not being seen. So when you use your Logitech or whatever camera you're using, make sure your computer is not being seen inside that shot. And of course, make sure you're looking at the camera, even though you want to look at the screen as often as possible. Help the people that hold their computer in their lap and look down.
That's so creepy.
It is.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
It looks like you're looking at something you shouldn't be looking at.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
It's just CD. It's like, hi everybody. A little creepy, right? No.
Okay, next, I want to talk about sound. We're using the sound off the laptop. Not really the best. Let me show you what a mic would sound like. So here's a lavalier mic that what I would like tack onto myself. I'm just going to do this naturally. So just stick it on the outside. And I'm going to turn this on. Wait till you hear the difference between having it off. And I'm going to turn this puppy. Let's see if I got it on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now this is the mic. So you can see the difference between the mic and the built-in sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Did you hear a difference between the two?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the mic, when you're using the built-in mic, it's got better sound quality. It sounds like you're mic'd up properly. The problem is you talk.
If I'm without one.
She doesn't have one.
Hi, everybody. I'm over here without one. I could really mess with Ken right now.
Oh, okay,
The mic's
okay.
not working.
What I am using is, I'll unplug this right now. I am using a Focusrite. It's a dual mic input or dual input. So I could stick another mic right here.
So I could have one.
She
too.
could have one. This right here is about $150. This box right here, the mic is another maybe 40. You get a higher end mic. This is a $119 mic, but it does change the mic quality, and that's plugged right into the laptop. Really important. So for example, I am doing a call. What's it? Yeah, it's always like that.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm doing a call to Dubai next week, and it's an event with 1,500 people. I definitely want the sound quality to be great. I'm doing something with Simon Leslie that day too. At 6 in the morning.
you know what I'll be doing?
Sleeping
Yes.
with the door open. Because my son's gone. Now you can have the door open, which is nice. So we handled lighting. We've talked about mic and sound. Let's talk about camera. Camera quality matters. Now you can use, I believe, a Sony camera,
That was me.
or a Canon camera, as long as it's got the proper inputs.
But some of them will overheat, so just be careful if you go longer than an hour.
Yeah, overheat, and some of them turn off too.
Mm-hmm.
They turn off within 12 minutes. So you have to make sure that it's able to stay on and without turning off. But what's nice is the camera quality is incredible. So let me give you an idea. Let me see if I could switch between our camera and the computer. I don't know if I could do this. I'm kind of nervous. Let's see.
The background's all squirrely because we don't
Yeah.
have light on it.
What did I just do? Oh, I don't want that update. Is that what's going on? Is that why it's squirrely like that?
Yeah.
The
yeah,
lighting?
The shadows.
Because you moved it. Because I had it set really good earlier.
It's okay. My skin looks better this way.
Okay, I want your
It's all
skin.
about the light on my face. Who cares about the background?
Let me see if I can change the levels of that. No, can't compromise that. That sucks. So there are tools, and we'll talk about those tools also. I'm going to change the background. Sorry, guys. We're going to change the background to something that's just a little, maybe this will work.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Metal.
it is metal. That's what that is. And we'll talk about that too. So what we're doing with the camera is the camera's giving you better quality. The camera's going to allow you to zoom in and zoom out, which I can too. So if I wanted to zoom in or zoom out, ooh,
It's like time warp.
you're able to do that. That might be important, but remember you have to make sure you're within the green screen, which watch what happens when I zoom out. You'll start to see the green screen. There it is. And you feel naked, right?
Yep.
And we're back in. So with these cameras, you're able to zoom in and zoom out. Might be important. Most Logitechs or your computer doesn't allow you to zoom in and zoom out.
What's nice about that is you can put your camera on a tripod, zoom in and zoom out where you need it for each call without having to change your whole entire setup. Otherwise, if it's on your computer or something, you got to back up your computer or back up your space behind you and make room, and it's really awkward and weird and things move around where you don't want them.
Yeah, all that. This camera here is about $500 that we're using. Most webcams are probably 150 to 200. Miles will go a little higher end. And what's nice about the Canons is you could switch lenses on it too. So you could change the way it looks. Like Dave Asprey, he's got a killer lens. It looks great, but he's using the same camera, but a different lens. Just want to go with all these things. So we got lighting, we have mic, we have camera, background. We're using a standard green screen background. Let me see if I could just turn off the background so people could see. I don't know how I do that.
Just go back to where you were and then check. Ta-da!
The green screen background we're using, you can see it's lit because we have a backlight over here that's lighting it so you don't see the shadows.
But if you do get shadows, that's why you'll see that weird squirrely pixelation that we have. So we have some shadows that we created here. It doesn't see it as green, it sees it as black, so it's compromising.
So when we turn back on the green screen,
So see,
There
like
it
down
is.
here, like
that's where there's some compromising
there's
that's
some
going on.
shadowing right there.
Which means if I turn the light up,
So
see
if you
that
add
changing?
more light to that, that will go away.
So if I turn this light up, you're saying it should go away?
If you turn it towards the backdrop, it'll go away.
Try and turn it off here, right?
Yep, see? Ta-da.
It's gone away.
Yep.
No, it's back.
Well, it's because you made
Oh,
a new
I made a
shadow with your
shadow.
body.
Ooh, it's even worse.
Yeah, you've got to move the light and point it towards the backdrop.
The things I learned from you lately.
I know the secrets.
Because it sounds like the key is to point the lights towards the background somehow.
Ultimately, the background has to stay green. So when you put a shadow in front of it, you're making the green, well, that's not strong enough shadow. You're making the green black. So then it sees it as black and not green. So see my shadow here by my hand? It's a black shadow. So it's the computer is confused as to what's actually green and what's actually black.
So what I do is I use different backgrounds that might be a different color. So let me go with something like this. Now you don't see that phasey.
Because it thinks that it's black, and it sees
and
it
it's
as
black. So we use different backgrounds for different cases like that. So lighting, camera, mic, green screen. We got everything, right? Now positioning. Positioning is important. If you notice, Mike, I hate to pick on you, buddy, but tell me why I need to see all that stuff around you.
Why?
Yeah.
Positioning.
But why? What are you trying to show with all that behind you?
Generally, I don't show this as my normal background because I've made many virtual backgrounds.
Yep.
You know, even some simple things. So I really haven't concentrated on the background, the real background behind me, because I rarely use it. But
you definitely need a green screen because this is your business.
yeah.
These backgrounds, and you need to modify your lighting.
Yeah, because you see, like right now, we're getting muddiness between the outline of your head and your shoulder. So it's starting to bleed. So we get a sneak peek of what's behind you. So a green screen will really clean that line up. Because right now the computer's compensating and trying to decide where your shirt starts and where the background stops. So it's giving it kind of a muddy, like quick outline as opposed to a nice clean edge.
Because I'm using an iMac with a fixed camera, so I can't zoom in or do anything. So it's a little limiting for reality. So
But what you could do, you could
What's that?
raise your feet. You could bring yourself up more to a higher eye level because you're also very low.
Yeah, I'd have to get
That
a
looks better.
cushion for my chair.
Yeah, but that looks better. You might want to get a phone book.
Uh,
A tiny person.
A pillow feels good on your bum bum.
And let's
or
talk.
I could gain a few pounds.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Sonny, I know you have a beautiful green plant next to you.
Yes.
Would he want to put a light on the plant?
No, but I'd like to see a little bit, tiny bit more of the,
Of the
plant,
plant.
but not it overlapping you.
Just to get a little contrast, right?
Yeah.
Contrast. So, no,
So maybe turn the camera. Can you do that?
turn the camera.
Mm-hmm. Right there.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
Yeah,
doesn't
so
it?
that's more interesting and has a better composition.
And actually, the lighting looks a little better.
Yeah, and what we like about your setup right now, Sonny, is you have the right eye level. So look into the camera. Look,
Oh yeah, that's
beautiful.
great.
One thing that people always overlook when they're doing Zoom calls, and you'll notice Ken and I try to do it as often as we can. Obviously, if we're looking at the screen, it's difficult. But look into your camera. You don't need to be looking at someone on the screen. See the difference? Right now, I'm looking at Sonny, and it looks like I'm looking down. Now I'm looking into the camera, and it looks like I'm connecting with you. And it requires practice. So when you're doing any kind of call with someone, look into the camera, and just with your peripheral vision, you can see if they're looking at you or not. But it allows more engagement. It looks better overall.
Guys, this is our new office. Our Zoom call is our new office, so we need to take it much more seriously. So for example, I have, I'm just gonna move this out of the way. I have a huge widescreen monitor. Let's see if I can get this in here. I hope I can, I hope I can. I have a widescreen monitor right here with all my chats on here, who's in the call, anything I need, my browser, it's all right here in front of me. Now, why? Well, this is our office. So if my office could be organized in a way that doesn't take, what are you doing? It's huge.
It's like this big.
It's
great.
massive, it is. But it also allows me, like, for example, watch this. I'm gonna go look at who's in the room right now. And there, I just did it. I don't look down at my screen. I looked over at my screen. Doesn't look as bad as going like this.
This is bad.
All right, Jason, can you please unmute yourself, sir? By the way, did you unmute yourself?
Absolutely.
Hi, Jason.
Guys, easy way
Hey.
to unmute yourself if you're on a computer is your space bar. Did you know that?
Spacebar. Jason,
Yes.
I love it when you are on camera because I love seeing you. But for some reason, you love to be in the lower third of all your calls.
And he puts it vertical.
Yeah, and it's vertical. It doesn't bother me as much. It's being in the lower third. So if I have buttons up on my screen or anything, I see about this much of your face.
Really? Because
All-
on my thing, I see chest up.
Yeah.
Well, from what we see so much room, and we can see your ceiling.
I hate to say
feel
this,
like
buddy,
graphics need
you're
to be
giving
up or
us you're
something.
giving us the wrong definition of giving us head. Just saying, okay?
Hey, give me prison flashbacks. Take it easy.
Exactly.
I think you might want to even lower it more. I mean, you're in great shape. We want to see that, and I think you're limiting. But why are you doing it in vertical? Is there a reason?
Because a lot of times if I do it sideways, people say I come out sideways.
Oh, are you on a phone?
So, yeah, I'm on my phone.
That's right now. It worked
No,
perfect.
you look great in this.
Am I sideways?
That's the best way.
No, because before when I had it like that, people said my picture was sideways
No, you look
opposed
so much
to.
better right now.
This is the way you should do it for sure.
Yeah, sometimes
Okay.
the phone is on lock or something, but right now it looks great.
Okay. Well, there we go. See, look at
Put
that.
all
Progress.
the spaces above you.
And also, I would
You don't like my.
I'd be concerned, buddy, about your lighting at times. Right now, you have decent lighting because you're using
Yeah, I have.
from the room or from the window.
Yeah, I'm using this. I have a bigger light, but yeah, I just kind of jumped on, so I didn't really set up to put my bigger light on or anything.
It's okay.
So.
Every once in a while, I have to jump into these Zoom meetings. This is our new desk, everyone. Remember, this is our office. We have to take Zoom to be very, very serious.
So I have an interesting
Zoom
Zoom story. Yeah, I worked with a client who had her whole entire team. She had about 50 people join me for a call to talk about how to do your Zoom setup and how they can work better with their clients on their Zoom setups.
When was this?
This was maybe like, and what happened was, as we were going through and making suggestions of what to fix and what not to fix, the owner of the company realized that a lot of her people who were doing consultations with clients looked like they were in bathrooms or really weird, creepy rooms in their houses.
Neon lighting. I mean,
It was
fluorescent lighting.
bad indoor fluorescent lighting. They picked rooms that they considered to be quiet, but they didn't focus on what was behind them. So one person was in a garage, another person was like holed up in a bathroom, another one was doing the calls from her bed, and it just looked so unprofessional. The lighting was really bad, and it didn't represent them well or the company. So she had a long talk with everybody, and some people decided that they didn't want to switch. So she had to make some changes in her company. But it's like, be mindful of those things, because when you're representing even yourself, your business, your brand, whatever's going on behind you and whatever people see, that is your brand. So if it looks like you're in a creepy dungeon or a bathroom or you're in your bed all the time, it's not going to come across as professional or high-end at all. So you want to make sure you have what's set up properly.
I think what happens is when you see a whole bunch of people, it becomes noise.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't hear individual voices. If you would make a FaceTime call to an individual, you would probably be sitting up, you wouldn't be laying in your bed unless you're trying to.
You know what they say, when you smile, you sound happier too. Even
true.
if you're hating everything, you're like, this sucks. I hate this job right now, but I sound great about it, don't I? Because I'm smiling. It's
Kind of like playing a banjo.
Totally.
You can't ever say everything negative with a banjo. So I want you to realize that when you do these Zoom calls, and we see when we do them with Metal on Saturday, we have hundreds of people there. I am making sure that I'm looking at the camera. I'm talking to you as if it's an individual. I'm making sure that I'm looking at you as if it's like in an audience. Tony Robbins did something amazing this week. Did you see his videos?
Yes.
How many people was it?
22,000.
22,000 people on like a Zoom call. 22,000. And he broke it up in a way to where people felt like he was talking to them individually. Because if you've ever been to a Tony Robbins event, it's all around the crowd. The crowd's necessary.
Yeah, 10,000 people.
So he brought the crowd into this Zoom environment to where everybody was active and they felt like they were part of the crowd. Brilliant what he did. Go look at his Instagram feed. You can see it. Ken Dubner. Ken.
Hello, Ken.
Hi, Ken. Let's take a look at you. Could you unmute yourself, please, sir? We're going
Hey guys, nice to meet you, Sandy.
There we go. So let's look at Ken. What's Ken got going here?
Ken's got the right angle.
Woo!
He's got nice cropping. He's looking at the camera. It looks fabulous. His light is a little hot,
Yeah, it's hot.
but I like the light. He's got some side light. He's got good front light. It's just a little too bright.
What would be a suggestion for my problem is I got a 6-foot window meeting a 6-foot window, and then on this side I have a light shooting towards the wall to try and kind of balance it, because if I don't have, if I don't have that light,
Dark.
this
on
is
one
with
side.
the blinds closed. This is how
Yeah.
bright it is.
You know, I actually think the overexposure isn't your light setup. I think it's actually your camera.
Oh, okay.
You might
I knew
want
nothing about that.
camera.
What kind of camera you got?
Because look, you're a little fuzzy as well. So it's not just the light. It's you look a little flat. There's hardly any contrast, and your skin is a little fuzzy, which is great if you want to look really young. But I think it's the camera.
Don't
I'm
you have to
also,
change
I'm also
your-
growing a COVID beard. So.
But don't you change your settings under the video settings to hit the button but to be HD?
The HD. Oh, I
Because
think it is an HD.
Under settings.
Now, are we talking Zoom or the camera itself?
Zoom? The Zoom
Okay.
settings. When you go to the Zoom settings under video, there's a button that says Enable HD.
Yeah, I got it. It's on. It's a Logitech Pro C920.
And do you have the?
Maybe I need a newer camera.
Isn't there a touch-up mode? Do you have that
Yes,
on?
I am touch. Unfortunately, that is me touched up. Here's me non-touched up.
But see, it made an improvement, and you're not as overexposed anymore.
All right, so better non-touched up.
No. Whatever you did to put it in HD mode, I guess.
Perfect.
And now about lighting. What do you want to do about lighting?
You know, I mean, his lighting is better than most, so I don't really have much of a problem. It's just the camera reading it is a little hot.
So if because it's just regular lighting that whatever I pulled together in my house, is there a certain kind of bulb that's better? I had been using like your regular kind of yellow bulbs. I didn't like that, so I got like the sunlight bright bulbs. Is there something that's a better setting for me?
The lighting down. You can't turn the intensity of the lighting down.
No, because it's a window over here.
No, the window of the bulb. See,
Here,
so-
I'll open the window. I'll show you because it gets very bright. Depending on the time of day.
A natural bulb would probably be preferred, or a cooler bulb.
okay, so it's closing the windows. Let's see what we got.
So the window coming from here.
It's bright.
I turn on this light and I turn on this light. Balances a little bit, but still real bright.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's the window.
It's the window. The window is really what's hot. And you can't turn the shades down on the window?
No, that before was the shades totally closed. I mean,
Wow.
exposure. So it's also the time of day. Like obviously if I'm seeing clients at night, I have a light over here. It
Right.
it all out, but it changes because the windows where the window is, it gets real bright one part of the day and then it gets real dark.
Are you working on a desktop or a laptop computer?
A desktop.
Because the only other suggestion I would make is to actually turn and face that window and then back away from it. Because that's going to give you more even, consistent. Yeah, but your camera would have to be
Yeah.
in
No, I like
front
this.
of you.
I have the whole office set.
Yeah, and that makes it a little harder.
Yep. And
No,
then
I mean, his light is much better
It's-
than most
yeah,
people. I
it's
don't
a-
mind it.
it looks okay. We're just trying to make it great. Okay, move your microphone back so we can hear you okay. Nope, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, you guys are working with what you're working in.
You're working with it.
I don't know how good
But
you're
your
gonna make
camera
it look.
angle and your setup is excellent.
So we're talking now about our setup, which we just did. Great. Lighting, camera, sound. I want to talk about overlays. So right now, if you've noticed, there's more and more overlays that are popping into the market that allow you to do customized video work. For example, we know how we could share a screen, like if you have a PowerPoint or Keynote, and you could share your screen. But this is the new area. Like, for example, I want to go share a graphic. So let me go spotlight us. So Sandy and I, you see us. Hey, hello, how are you? You can see Sandy and I. Now I want to pull in a graphic. I popped in a graphic right now. I can move that graphic around. How do you do things like this? How do I make it to where I want to shoot a different type of overlay on really quick? We had earlier a nice little Hawaiian overlay. There we are. Or actually, I think it's Fiji. How do I change the depth of that so we could, ooh.
Ooh, I don't like that. That's creepy.
It was creepy. Maybe we'll put on a different background. I like this background right now. So Ecamm Live is a great tool. It's $25 a month. And what it does is it allows you to do picture-in-picture. You can do multiple images. You can set it up. So if you've noticed on Saturdays, I have different things that pop up to where, let's say, for example, I want to put up that graphic. I want to put up a different graphic. I want to pull this up right here. I'm able to line all these up. So for example, Ken, you have that graphic sit on your background. That's permanent. You need to go and physically change it. Wouldn't it be better that you could say, hey, I want to pop something up throughout?
What did you say the name of it was?
Ecamm Live.
This graphic is a Zoom graphic.
Ecamm?
Green screen.
Yeah, I get it, Ken. But what I'm saying, Ken, if you wanted to create a matted background and move things up anytime you want, you guys see me do this at Metal all the time where I pop all these things up.
Right behind me.
Behind us. Ecamm Live is extremely sophisticated, and it's an overlay that fits on any type of video conferencing platform. What's also nice about Ecamm Live, I could bring into the Zoom call a Skype call. So over here next to Sandy, I could have another window of somebody else calling in right now. Or it could be Google Hangout. So whatever it is, I could overlay multiple different video conferencing tools into one output of what you see.
How are you manipulating this? Is on your laptop off this? Where's the controls for this?
It would be all in front of you. So I have it on the other screen, which is really still the same computer. I'm running everything off one computer.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I could do that. Here, let me do a screen share so you could see. Hopefully this will all work.
And this is Mac only, right? Ecamm?
I don't know the answer.
Looks like
I
it.
don't think so. I think Ecamm Live works on.
Let's see, how would I share that screen? See if this works.
Yep.
No, that
Just show
didn't
your
work.
desktop.
Go back up to the top. Stop sharing. We're gonna try to show you guys this.
Do this.
It doesn't work.
I don't know
Sure.
why it's not allowing you to show your desktop.
Maybe Ecamm doesn't allow you to do that. Nope.
Yeah, it's not letting you. Okay, so we'll show. This is the Ecamm Live.
So let's see. They're seeing the same thing. No, they're just seeing our screen.
Okay.
Okay, so I can't do it, but I do want to say something that's really important I've learned also is under the share feature, share screen feature, same thing with you, babe. Let me show you something.
Can you guys see our overlays?
No, you can see right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can?
Okay, yeah.
Overlays, yeah.
These are the overlays that we have. And then if we go, I have to stop because it doesn't let me share my screen like normal. It's being really squirrely. And then we can share. So you can see this, and then what we could do is take those overlays. How did you do it? Did you drag it on here?
All you do is just click one of these links right here. That turns it on.
Ta-da! So I can move it around. This is what I'm doing on a different screen. And this is an Ecamm Live, so that's that simple. And I'm doing it through the overlays that I showed you a few minutes ago.
And can you bring up video or?
Yep.
Because I'm thinking because my girlfriend has to do a 12-hour Zoom presentation in not too long. It's for a bunch of interns coming into a mental health facility to work, and she has to do 12 hours. So I'm trying to figure out what she should be doing. This thing looks really good, the Ecamm thing.
Okay. Here, we'll show you. Look at this. I'm bringing up a video right now. We want to watch this. There we go. Can you see that? There's Lonray.
Yep.
Look, that's from another Zoom call.
And some people get chilled out.
So yes, you can. You can do all those things. You could bring up video, picture in picture. Now I got to figure out how to turn this off. Oh no, I don't know how to get rid of it.
Obviously, we don't do this one very often.
No.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh no!
Let's learn
Yeah,
together.
believe you're teaching in your good stuff, in your own good stuff.
Oh no! Hang on, guys. We're gonna cancel the video.
So how do you organize your presentation? Let's say you have, it goes on for a while, you have 12 or 15 things you need to do. Do you preload everything into this Ecamm software, or?
Yeah, he has them in a folder on the desktop because it's just a drag and drop.
I am trying to figure out how to get rid of this now. Oh no! I haven't done this
Michael
before.
Bruce's head.
Oh, I think I got it. Nope.
Hi everyone, welcome to
No, go away. How do I get rid of him? I mean, I love him. I love Michael Bruce.
This is funny.
It's not funny.
So funny.
You guys get to witness all this real time. Let's just get open another one. Oh, that sucks. Guys, while we're doing this together, we're going to learn how to get rid of it.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at this. You could send through all those platforms too.
And apparently you can stream through other platforms.
Yeah, we could stream this real time through YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook. Through Ecamm Live also. How the
So
hell?
Sandy, while Ken is trying to fix it, I have a question for you specifically.
Yes.
Camera level, eye level, above or below?
I always recommend the camera should be at your eye level or slightly above,
Okay.
never below. So the reason is when I'm talking to you and the camera is at eye level, I look more connected to you. It's warmer. And if the camera is you're slightly above the eye level, sorry, that's what I meant, then I'm looking sort of down on you, right? Or if you're the camera is below, you're looking up. So you don't really want to be looking up because it's diminutive. So it makes the viewer feel that they are bigger and stronger and better and smarter and whatever than you are, because I'm small, I'm down here. Hey, what's up? And if you are at eye level, you're kind of on the same level, you're connecting. So like if I were a therapist, this was how I would talk to my client. And if you are slightly above, then you are an expert, you know what you're talking about, and you're in control of the situation. So if you're the speaker, you're a presenter, it's always great to have the camera slightly below eye level. That's what I meant to say earlier. So yeah, but during like one-on-one communications, try to keep it as close to eye level as possible.
Got it.
Is that
Thank you.
helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. By the way, what you just asked earlier, Mike, and that is what's nice about Ecamm and these tools, if you've noticed, we stopped using PowerPoint or Keynote. We're using more slides that are overlays on our backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still part of what you see. But
Right.
if you notice, and so what's nice is I can see all the sequences that are about to happen because they're right in front of me. Where I have to go to Keynote or PowerPoint, I have to bring that up, share my screen, go through all those points.
I hope it works, because sometimes it's squirrely.
Yeah, Ecamm is one of those tools. And by the way, the guy that created Evernote, Phil LeBeau, has come up with a brand new one called That's how it's pronounced. It's not out yet, but it's got some amazing capabilities because I believe that since Zoom is our new office, we'll see so many new tools, and we're starting to see Zoom come out with new producer tools. So it's not just about watching the event, it's about producing the event. They've come up with a power user Zoom device. It's an all-encompassing console that you buy for $599. That is everything. It's your computer, it's your camera, it's your microphone, all in like a Chromebook-like style.
I just looked up Ecamm and it seems to be only Mac.
Okay,
Is it only Mac?
it's only Mac.
Well.
Sorry.
Is there anything like it PC?
Are you a PC person?
No, my girlfriend's job
Oh, got it.
is.
I don't know. I have to look. There probably is something out there.
Mike, there is a
Something like
product. I can text
Wire-
it to you later.
Wirecast is another one that's cross-platform, but it's fairly expensive. If you saw Will Henschel's wedding, he used Wirecast to overlay all those people.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Wirecast is what they used. And I want to say Wirecast is something like $800, where Ecamm over a course of a year is about $250. So it depends where you want to go, but Wirecast is the best of all of them out there right now, Wirecast. Okay, so we talked about lighting, mic, camera, green screen, positioning. let's talk about Zoom. Guys, we are all getting zoomed out.
Yeah.
We are Zoom burned, Zoom fatigue.
Zoom bombed.
Well, no, we're not Zoom bombed.
We've been Zoom bombed.
We have been Zoom bombed, yes. But I think we need to handle our Zoom meetings a little differently than our typical meetings. Shorter, to the point, concise, with updates afterwards. So if you've noticed with Metal, a half hour after Metal ends, you get all these things that you have access to on the portal because I timed it all out. I timed it all out because I want you to know that, all right, what I learned, I'll have access to. Because most of the time what we're doing is when we're doing Zoom, we're looking at the camera, we're not able to type, we're not able to really do what we would normally do in a meeting because we have to be present. So as long as you're making sure you're doing updates after your meetings and sending these things out, I think it helps you to connect with your audience a lot better. How many Zoom meetings are you doing?
I mean,
Not that many yet, right?
I try not to do as many, but I do my Zoom meetings with the same people every week for specific things for my work.
You're about to launch a very big Zoom platform.
Yeah, and when I do that, it'll be 2 times a week.
So remember, there's a difference between a Zoom call like this and a webinar.
Yeah.
Webinars are very, very different. Webinars are where you can't see the audience. You only see the ones that are putting on the event.
It's really weird the first time you do it.
It really is actually. I did one for 1,500 people I was the one giving the event. So I saw everybody, but the audience doesn't see anyone. So what happens is what's nice about a webinar, which is really important, is you can use old content as if it's new content. So if you ever notice when you go to a webinar, it looks like it starts exactly at a certain time. It's that speaker talking about something that's really interesting. You're taking notes. You may not know this, but they may have recorded that months ago. They have it at a fixed time so they can repurpose the content over and over again because you don't see the audience. You don't see the comments. So a webinar allows someone to record once and use many. A Zoom world like this, it's live. What's the advantage of a webinar? Exactly what I said. Make once, use many. And that's why a lot of people that are selling products, they want to bring you to a webinar. It's at a fixed time, so everybody gets in there, they hit play, and there you go, you're watching it. You're going to do stuff like that. You do once, use many. Because that's why you do it once, it looks great now. Why do it again? You don't need to.
It saves a lot of time and a lot of stress as well.
Yeah, the one-on-one stuff, it takes a lot of time to produce this stuff. So look at the differences. Like, for example, Ken, if you are going to launch a class, a hypnosis or a meditation class, you do it once, you record it, it's rock star-ish. You use as a webinar later on.
And the best part is, as things evolve, you can always do it again, but you don't have to do it every single time, which is what's nice.
Really important. Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard, all the big people that are all around leadership and personal growth, that's all they do all the time. So the big event that you're seeing right now with Tony Robbins that he's doing, that's live. And who's to say he uses his audience. So it's always live. But the funnel events to bring you into those events that cost are all webinars.
Yeah. And even Tony does, after a while, he starts playing videos.
Is he really?
It's like his voice thing.
Oh yeah, he's got a problem with his voice.
And Tony also did pre-recorded stuff in his live webinars. Half the stuff when you go, his live stuff, you go and 2 days of it's him pre-recorded with somebody else facilitating. And then his big trance experience is a recording that sounds like it's from 1985, which is a great experience. But
really,
he turns it on, you hear his voice go from this to, and now I want you to relax.
It is. Ken, it's hard to hear you, by the way.
You know what? I have my air conditioner on.
Your air conditioning's on?
Yeah, is
it's
that
okay.
better?
We need that.
Yeah, is that better?
Almost better.
Oh, so much.
By the way, I just want to
sorry, I forget sometimes. So
Tony's,
you can hear it at the live event. He's already been doing that, and what his explanation was is I get burned out doing 4 of these in a row, so every other day now I'll give you guys video content. So even when you're seeing them live, you're watching video.
Yeah, it's true.
So
And that's when a lot of the diamonds and platinum partners kind of leave.
Ken Dubner is the only human being in the world who's hypnotized me twice.
Wait, was that the one where you made him talk like a chicken or something?
No. He made me lose my penis and look for it. And he made it so I had a drinking problem, and I literally spilled I had a hole in my chin is what I think you told me, I guess. And all the water I was drinking, I was in front of an audience. It went all over my shirt. Ken has abused his privileges with me.
You asked me to do it.
And clearly you never unhypnocized him.
And the
No,
second time, you knew what you were getting into. Your husband is one of the most creative, hypnotizable people I've ever met. Honestly, it's one reason he's a genius.
So is he still looking for his penis?
Yes.
I think.
it was at James Hammond's 50th birthday party.
He found it.
He hypnotized the whole group.
No, it was supposed to be your penis. It was
Right.
your nose.
Well,
Because the question was, you've lost the most valuable thing to you, and every other man has said penis, and you looked at me and said, my nose. And I looked at you like, how much did he spend on a nose job? What the fuck?
Well, let's just say he's very nosy.
It's because of his synesthesia. It's because his senses come through his nose. But that answer threw me off. Like never heard that before. What the hell?
yeah, and
Get to know your husband. He's a very unique guy.
it was at the Soho House, and that was a very I've seen video of it. And then he had me have sex with a blow-up doll.
Did he really make you?
I don't know if there's any suggestion of that there. I think Ken just grabbed the doll. I think that was what happened. We were all kind of shocked.
Yeah, but he had somebody else pretend to be a guy to be Britney Spears. I mean, it was just crazy, the crap that you did. And I've only seen the videos because I don't remember any of this. Any of it. And then he did another one at a friend of ours, Donna Antony,
Oh yeah, I lived on it.
at her house.
You and Cheryl Teagues.
A small audience, and he had his way with me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not the first and I'm not the last.
No, you're just damn good at what you do. That's what the key is. So Ken, you're doing a lot of Zoom stuff?
Well, I do all my stuff online. I'd already been moving towards it as far as one-on-one. I really wanted to do that for a while. So I've been doing this since it was over a phone. This is so much nicer to do. And it's more convenient. And even my LA clients don't want to go in traffic. Back when we had traffic, didn't want to go for an hour and a half. And so I would say just try it one time because they didn't think they could be hypnotized online. And, we're doing other kinds of counseling. But yeah, I'm doing the larger Zoom stuff too, is what I'm moving more into. But one-on-one, I've been doing it for years and I love it. I've been an advocate of it way before this happened.
I find his background distracting.
Too much color?
Yeah, well, no, because I'm trying to read what is in there, but I can't read it.
Oh yeah.
It's too small.
Yeah,
Okay.
and because of that, I am not paying as close of attention to you as I should.
Now, why would a hypnotist
where he would be
want you to
using-
do that?
No.
Why would a hypnotist want you a little distracted about this little chart about how life works in the background? So
But I
that every
can't
time I
read
do
it.
this, you look at, well, what I do is I tell people.
Look a little closer.
I do green screen. So I'm
Yeah, but
like
when you
a
better to turn it on
weatherman.
when you need to turn it on.
Yeah, I can switch it off.
Yeah. So I've noticed that you have had that on in the past. I wasn't sure why it's always on.
It's always on because I just always refer to it with clients. But even at the metal meetings, because people will ask me about it, like if I'm just socially talking to someone, and then I'll give them a quick explanation. And so it's been a conversation starter for people.
I think it's interesting what Mike's doing with the backgrounds, because now that's Mike's new business.
He does a great job with that.
And maybe it might be better to have something that alternates and changes periodically.
Okay.
This is actually a 5-minute loop.
Of backgrounds that you made.
This one that you're right now, I just decided to fly things by there's sky. So I bring things that fly. So I even have the Wicked Witch of the West, show up, and it says beware Dorothy, or on it in the clouds. And here's like I just started just thinking of things. I have Martians fly by, Godzilla pops out.
That's awesome.
Look at all the things flying by. That is pretty cool, actually.
But I've done it's like 5.5 minutes long. So I don't know if there's a limit.
There might be a very interesting thing for events, virtual events,
Mhm.
that would like to have something with their logo and these different things flying by.
That's cool.
I wonder how you'd market.
That's what I'm thinking, because I was trying to think how you could stretch time, because on a metal thing, oftentimes we're just hanging out. So I was like, what sort of thing could I do that's not boring? So here's a helicopter coming in. So then I do some visual tricks. Like after this, I think the witch shows up and leaves a message in the clouds, like in the Wizard of Oz, and goes out. And I've just been putting in whatever.
What about the name animated shortly?
Shorts.
Oh, shorts. Sorry, I thought it was shortly, which I thought was kind of. I like shortly actually, but that's different. That's just me, kind of weird. How much are you charging for stuff like this?
I haven't. I'm just perfecting it. I'm trying to figure out what would be a sweet spot.
And have you talked to anybody about doing this? Like selling
Not
it?
really, because I've been working on other projects. So this is like a side thing that I've been thinking is like,
That's the future.
I could do this.
I like it. It's
I
fun.
mean, they are pretty cool. I really wonder what that would be worth to somebody. I think it's got a lot of value, especially if it
I
had.
think it does, because it's lengthy, and so it's the time in production it's not fast, for the longer that you do it. But I believe like a 10-minute loop could definitely be worthwhile, because there's a lot of times you're stuck 10 minutes. And I've had people comment a lot on it. So here's where the witch comes in, and she brings in the surrendered Dorothy like in the movie, and then it fades away in the clouds.
So, guys, I
That's
just
all.
want to bring a couple more things up before we go, and that is, I find myself standing for Zoom calls a lot better than sitting.
Yes, you do.
I've been doing this every metal in the last 2 to 3 weeks. I've been standing. It just, my posture's better. I'm not slouched over. I'm not making sounds with my chair. Have you done it? Have you done any standing upstairs?
No, my space is much tighter than yours, so I like to sit.
Yep, standing.
I also do things while I'm doing my calls, like pulling up things. I like to sit.
Well, that just again, we wanted to touch upon a few different things. Any cues? Any questions? Anything from you guys? Jason, anything from you?
Yeah, I want to get that information, the mic and camera, some of the stuff maybe you can put in the chat.
No, I will. I'll send it to you. I think it's better.
Oh, okay. Oh, absolutely.
I definitely will
appreciate
do that. And then I just think right now we need to make sure we're preparing ourselves. I have a feeling, according to the research I'm doing, we're going to be stuck in this Zoom world for about a year more.
But I still don't think it'll go away after that. It's not like everybody's go, okay, we're out. I think it's alleviated a lot of traffic, and there's a lot of meetings that are done that you spend a lot of time getting to that could just happen easy.
Absolutely.
I think it's realized now.
I agree.
We were kicked into the future.
Yeah, I think I have a buddy of mine. He's a president and partners of Will Packard Productions, and he said, moving forward, most of his meetings, like dinner he lost like 10 pounds just not going to dinner meetings, lunch meetings. That he's going to do a lot more Zoom meetings, and then with the traffic too. It's just, and even the office, they're actually discussing getting rid of the offices.
Yeah.
People work virtually, and maybe like I think the H Club, a private club in Hollywood, maybe doing that and doing company meetings and meetings there, but otherwise they won't work virtually because either they're on a set or
I'm going to have this girl on Saturday's metal. Her name is Nisha. And what Nisha did last week, she had the first live in-person event in the entire world. She had 1,500 people to her event. And she talked about how she had to put it together, how they had to be seated, how the speaker environment had to be cleaned in between different speeches. So we'll talk about just the hassle now of what it's like to do in-person events, but they're dedicated to do it because it's the lost revenue of what's happening inside those cities. This is coming from Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Dubai is hurting really bad. Dubai and Singapore are conference cities. And by not having, like Vegas is a conference city. So they are going to do whatever they can to bring conferences back. But I think the little stuff, this is good. This is, but boy, does it hurt a lot of the smaller hotels. A lot of small group places that really cater towards events and trade shows.
And even caterers.
Well, yeah, anything that's within that turnkey, that cottage industry, you're right. being destroyed. Think about just the people that would set up booths that were in those local markets that would do really well making those booths. Those are gone. Trade shows, think CES, 2 weeks from now, it looks like CES will get canceled. CES is the biggest trade show in Vegas.
I know people in ad specialties. They give those things away to people that show up. So now ad specialties is totally messed up.
It's done. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Any last words from you? That's it.
Thank
And
you, guys.
guys, we'll see you later on. Thanks a lot for being part of our call.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
well, if you think of anybody I should hook up with, maybe making these things, let me know.
Sounds good. Bye, everyone.